Hey everyone, I realize it's been a long time since I've actually done any videos here on the Best Gardens DIY channel. Today I'm going to try to do a little catch up with y'all so y'all can see where we're at with everything. I'm going to show y'all some of my desert plants, plants that would be suitable for a drier environment, plants that may appeal to a taste of, you know, a drier desert-like environment. So first I'll get started here and I'll show you some of my plants. This is a variegated form of blue agave. It's got a real straight and rigid leaf on it. It's not super cold hardy. It did have a little freeze back last year on a sub-zero or sub 32 degree weather. Also right here we have this beautiful cactus. Forgive me on some of my cactus species names. I'm not 100% sure because there's so many different varieties. It's not like our broadleaf trees and plants. The smallest variation creates a whole new subspecies, and it's hard to keep up with all that. I believe this is a Pachycereus or something very closely related to a Pachycereus. And actually this one froze back in that sub-zero weather also, and all these heads came back out of it. Now over here we have some variegated blue agaves. These were actually pups that came off the side of my bigger one I have over that way. Like I said, same thing with the blue agaves. There's so many different variations of blue agaves I just couldn't possibly remember all the different variations. This one's pretty cool though. It's a smaller species of blue agave, and you can see it has the vein, the lighter colored vein that runs through the middle right there, as well as all these small pups that are coming off of here that I'm probably going to harvest soon and transplant and give them their own space. Beautiful cactus over here. I think this is an apple cactus. Like I said, once again, it's hard to know all the different species. I actually got this from a very large cactus that a buddy of mine actually was growing in his yard, and I got it. It didn't do anything for the first year. This is how big it was the whole first year, and towards the end of this year all of this growth has happened, which I'm really excited to see the progress of that one. Also have one that I think may be in the same family or very closely related, growing on top of my rock right here, this boulder, and it's just a little smaller all around. Everything seems to be more compact and dense. Then moving over here, this is a very common cactus. We have a prickly pear. On this one I started out with just those couple larger sections there, and it's really taken off. This is 2 years of growth on that one from just those 3 or 4 original heads that were on there. This is actually one of the leaves that fell off. So that was all that I started with right there, and then all these heads have grown over that. This right here is the mother plant of the other variegated blue agaves I showed you earlier. Very nice. This is one of my favorite blue agaves I have. It's probably about 2.5 foot tall, about 3 foot wide. I'm moving around the side of the building here. These beautiful succulents, if anybody knows what these are called, let me know. I forget what they're called. They got like a star head on them, and those things have just been, you know, surviving and surviving. I've done no kind of work on them or anything. It's really amazing. That's a native prickly pear right there. All right, moving around this way. I know these aren't 100% desert plants, but they actually have that same appeal because they have the real spiky leaves on them. And this is actually yucca, and they're edible. This is a smaller variety of yucca. It's not the traditional variety like this one is the traditional. That one seems to be a little more compact. And we actually had our first frost, so a lot of my banana trees and cool stuff like that has all died back. Coming into where I cultivate and start my plants and get them, you know, started out, I do cuttings like those angel trumpets over there. Some of my other blue agaves I have just kind of growing so I can get into a size where they're going to make it in my yard. My wife will mow things that aren't very distinguished. Right out here I have some more of these. I believe they're Pachycereus. Like I said, if you know for sure, they're really hard for me because there's so many different varieties. I planted these for cuttings that somebody was throwing away. I just put them in the ground, and as you can see already, probably in 3 months I've got that. There's one of the pups from the large variegated blue agave there. One of the angel trumpet cuttings that I put right in the ground, and they actually did okay. As you know, well, you may or may not know, I love tropical rainforest themes and tropical plants. And air plants and epiphytic plants are some of my favorite plants. I'll do a whole video on those later. This right here is another Yucca or Yucca, same there. Some more frostbitten blue agaves, which is okay. They're very hardy. They'll come back. This one's cool. Has that character to it. Kind of swoops. This is probably my favorite Yucca right here. This is a variegated Yucca. The only one I have, but it's really cool. And I've had it for several years. These are some of the, you know, distinct or different blue agaves I have right there. More yuccas. You can kind of get an idea for some of my bromeliads. Like I said, y'all, it's really hard with some of these different plants that have so many different varieties. This was nothing but a root when I got it. It was chopped off there, chopped off, no green foliage. I planted the root, and then I already have that. That's been 2 years though. It's not growing as fast as the one behind it, which started out smaller but was in perfect condition when I got it. Right here, some more. Just these have been trimmed up to kind of create more of a palm tree-like feel. Obviously, you got your sago palms. They're in the cycad family. These are what they call prickly pear cactus. And I wanted to show you these because they actually have the prickly pears on them. Right here. See how that's ripe? That's purple. That's actually food for a lot of different animals. Squirrels love them. Gopher tortoises really love them. Here's one that fell off right here on the ground. And I tried one of my own prickly pears and it was pretty good. A lot of seeds in them sometimes though. Got these cactuses over here. Wanted to go ahead and show y'all my prized blue agaves. I'm trying to create a line on my property line of blue agaves. So far I've got like maybe 15 on this line here. There's a variegated one. I put to add a little spice to it. Like I said, my wife will mow down anything that isn't distinguished from the grass, and that's what happened there. They've grown up a lot since she mowed it though. The other ones have gotten bigger. She won't mow them now, but you know, these are some of my citrus. Really just want to show you all my prized blue agave. My biggest one's right out here. Let me go ahead and get up. It was ones like this that she mowed over because you can see they're not distinguished. You know, the grass grows up around them. I got lucky she didn't mow that one. All right, so I'm creating a little bit of a hedgerow with these cactuses. And once again, I don't know the species because there's so many. I imagine it's in the prickly pear family, but I'm not even sure really. If you know, let me know. Put a timestamp there too. This is my prized blue agave. This is my biggest one. It's not as big as they get, but it's pretty scale. So I mean, I estimate that's probably about 4 foot tall, and it's healthy. This actually is all this year's growth, and that right there is where it froze last year from the cold snap we had. A lot of my plants got bit last year from the cold snap we had. But that's just a quick run through of some of my desert plants. And if you like this content or want any other kind of content like this, let me know. Post that in the comments too. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to get more active on this channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I love plants. That's what I do. And thanks again, y'all. Have a good day.